Hi everyone, welcome to SL Business, the channel built for first-time entrepreneurs and anyone who wants to create a business with purpose and real profit. Today we're going deep into one of the most important questions for any entrepreneur. How do you choose the right product or service to sell, whether it is digital or physical, and how do you actually sell it around the world? We're going to break it down using a proven academic principles taught at places like Harvard, Stanford, and London Business School. But anyway, that's tactical and practical step by step on made for you. Stick around because by the end you have a clear roadmap to not just choosing a right product, but knowing how to validate it, testing, and turning it into something scalable and profitable. Start with the problem solution fit by Harvard Business School. Let's begin with what Harvard Business School calls problem solution fit. This is where every great business idea should begin, not with a product you like, but with a real world problem that your target audience desperately wants solved. Before you design anything, ask yourself, what specific problem does this solve? And it is painful enough that people would pay for a solution? Here's a real world example. Back in 2008, two guys, Brian Chesky and Joel Givia, saw a big problem. Hotels in San Francisco were fully booked during a major conference. People needed a place to stay, so they inflated some air mattresses in their apartment and rented them out. That little experiment became Airbnb. They didn't just guess, they found a real pain point and built some solution around it. Here's a tip for you. Talk to 10 and 20 people you think are your potential customer. Don't selling anything yet. Just ask them about their day-to-day challenge. Look for repeated pain points, and if 5 or more mention the same problem, you've got something worth digging into. Write it down, analyze, and build from there. Validate the market with lean startup method. Once you've identified a real problem, don't go straight into building the product. First, validate the idea. This is where the lean startup methodology from Stanford and MIT comes into play. The goal here is to test your idea with the smallest, fastest, and cheapest version of it, also known as the minimum viable product or MVP. Let me give you a real example. When the founders of Dropbox had their idea, they didn't build the software right away. Instead, they created a 2-minute explainer video that showed how Dropbox would work. No real product yet. That video went viral and got over 70,000 signups on Y9. Boom, idea validated. Your tip here is use tools like Canva to design product mockups, or use Gumroad or a simple landing page builder like Care to present your idea. If people signing up, click, or buy, that's validation. If nobody does anything, it's time to pivot or dig deeper. So this is a combining design thinking, lean startup, and agile graphic developed by Gartner that you can use in order to understand the whole process between customer problem and customer solutions. Design thinking, focus on customer problem. First of all, we have empathize, so begin by deeply understanding the user's needs, emotions, and challenges. Then, once you've gathered enough insights, you move on the second step, which is define. Here, you clearly articulate the core problem based on insights from the empathy phase. And finally, we arrive at ideate. This is the fun part, and you must generate a broad range of creative ideas and potential solutions. Also, we have a linear startup. This invites you to experiment, learn, iterate. So first you create a minimum viable product or MVP based on one of your best ideas. Then you move on the measure phase where you test the MVP and gather feedback and data from the real users. After that, it's time to learn. You analyze the results and ask yourself, did this actually solve the problem? Depending on what you find, you have two options. If the idea didn't work as expected, you pivot, which means changing direction or trying a different approach. But if the idea shows promise and solves the problem well, you persevere. In other words, you keep going and work on improving it. This cycle repeats to reduce risk and validate a solution before scaling. Agile delivers the solution in iterations. So once you validate your idea, you move into the agile process. First, do sprint planning. This is where the team decides what the tasks to work on and sets clear goals for the short development cycle, also known as a sprint. Next, during sprint execution, the team starts building and testing the product in small management pieces. This helps catch issues early and stay on track. Then you focus on delivering a shippable increment. That means putting out real working features or updates that users can actually interact with, often at the end of each sprint. Finally, there's the sprint review, where the team looks back at what they achieved, gathers feedback, and decide what to improve or work on next. The power of Agile is that it lets you building things quickly, adapt to change, and keep improving based on real feedback, without wasting time or resources. So, how do you actually use this graphic in real life? Well, you can think of it as a roadmap for product development, specifically if you are part of a startup and working on something innovative. To start, you apply design thinking. This helps you really understand the customer and make sure solving the right problem from the beginning. Then, you bring in the lean startup approach. This means testing your ideas fast with minimal resources so you don't waste time building something nobody wants. Finally, once your idea is validated, you move into Agile. This lets you keep improving your solution continuously, releasing updates often, and delivering a real value to your customers. This combination gives you a clear, flexible, and smart way to go from problem to solution step by step with real feedback at every stage. Find product market fit. So let's say you build your MVP and gotten some feedback. Now it's time to search for product market fit. This is when your products start pulling customers in, you're not forcing sales, people are naturally checking about it, coming back and referring orders. Here's a great example from recent years. Think about Zoom. It wasn't the first video conferencing tool, but it exploring plurally, not just because on the pandemic, but because people actually like it using it more than Skype or Google Meet. It was simple, fast, and reliable. That's product market fit in action. And here's your tip. You'll know you're getting close to product market fit when your customers stop referring friends without being asked. You get consistent repeat user buyers, and you've overwhelmed with demand instead of chasing people. Until then, keep refining your offer and message. Know your unit economics by London Business School. Now let's get into the money, because a product that doesn't make a profit is just a hobby. This is where unit economics comes into play. Taught in top business school like London Business School, unit economics means for every unit you sell, how much do you actually earn after expenses? Let's make it real. Imagine you sell a subscription box for $20, it costs you $12 for the product, $7 for shipping, and $3 for packaging. That leaves you $3 profit. But what if it costs you $5 in ads to acquire that customer? You're losing money. And here's your tip. Always track three numbers: COGS, cost of goods sold, CAC, customer acquisition cost, and LTV, lifetime value of a customer. A wealthy business typically has an LTV that at least 3 times the CAC. If it costs $30 to get a customer, that customer should be worth $90 over time. If you want to explore more about the metrics and formulas used to evaluate profitability and cost among others, so you can go to this video and where explain how to do it. Choose global friendly products by Porter and Hofstede frameworks. Thinking global from the start? I love that. But remember, what works in one country may float in another. To do this right, we'll mix two academic knowledge: Porter's 5 forces to assess market competition and Hofstede cultural dimension to understand local behaviors. And here's a strong example. McDonald's is a global, but it doesn't serve the same thing everywhere. In India, not beef burgers. In Japan, They roll out shrimp burgers and teriyaki chicken. They adapt based on local preference and values. And here's your tip. Use free tools like Google Trends by country, Amazon bestsellers list in different regions, and Reddit or Quora to explore local complaints and desires. Design your product for flexibility. Start small in a one market, test, refine, then adapt as you go to global. Now the big question. Should you launch a digital product or a physical one? Here's where comparative advantage from economics comes in. The idea is simple. Focus on what you can do more efficiently than others. Let's break it down. If you are great at creating content and building communities, digital products like ebooks, courses, or templates may be your lane, lower cost, faster to scale. You have sourcing, connection, or love logistics. Maybe you lean into physical products like apparel, electronics, or home goods. And here's a real life example. A fitness coach might offer a $20 digital meal plan and a $300 workout equipment kit. Test both. Track what happened, people, and what people actually buy, and lean into what performed best. Tip for you. Ask yourself, what are you good at producing? What do you enjoy managing? What fits your time and financial resources? Start with easiest one to launch, and once you learn the process, scale or stack with the other. There you have it. The full step-by-step roadmap to choosing and selling the right product or service, using tools and strategies taught by Word's top business school. I hope you're walking away from this video with clarity, confidence, and next step to take. Remember, the most successful businesses don't start with the best product. They start with the best understanding of people and problems. Drop your business idea in the comments. I'll be choosing one to feature in view in an upcoming video. Like this video if it helped you, subscribe to SL Business and turn on notifications so you're the first to get out practical, helpful entrepreneur content every week. I'll see you in the next one. Let's build something incredible together.